Hello everybody, today I'd like to talk about the Roland D05, the boutique version of the iconic Roland D50. One of the most influential synthesizers, digital synthesizers, to have ever been released. To say this instrument was influential would be a tragic understatement. If you were alive in the late 80s, early 90s, you had to have heard this synthesizer somewhere. It was in every soundtrack, every hit song, everything from soundtracks and hit songs to after-school specials, low-budget horror films. Hell, it even ended up making it into some video games, namely the PlayStation intro. If anybody here remembers the original PlayStation start music, that was made with a Roland D50. So today I'm going to be showing just some of the presets that exist in this Roland Boutique version. I find them to be very unique, very useful. Now, I've said in other videos, the more you dig in, the more you're going to dig it. Well, I have to be honest, I haven't dug into this synth at all. I mainly use it for presets. The presets are just so iconic and so great, I end up just adding some effects, and sometimes layering them, and sometimes adding absolutely nothing and using them straight out of the box. There is an accessory, I'm forgetting the name of it right now. I'll have a picture of it though up in the video as I'm saying this. I think it's the PG-1000, and that allows you to really deeply edit the synth. The PG-1000 that was released for the D50 is also compatible with this D05. I may pick one up. Anyway, yeah, this synth was also, the sound library was partly created by Eric Persing. If anybody's familiar with Eric Persing, he's the founder of Spectrasonics, and he's also one of the OG cats at Roland who made some incredible presets. And his signature style is all over this thing. In fact, you can almost hear the genesis of Omnisphere in the Roland D05/D50. Now, even though the boutique version of this D50 isn't out anymore, you could still buy it used. I think the price has gone up a little bit. There's also the Roland Cloud version of the D50, and from what I understand, it sounds just as good as the physical boutique version. There's also a variety of D50 sounds in all types of keyboards. Korg has their own kind of rip-off versions of D50 sounds, so does Yamaha. The new Roland Phantom actually has a sort of a D50 style tone bank. Although, oddly enough, the Phantom's D50 sounds, they sound great, but they don't sound like the original D50. There's a big difference. Apparently, Roland developed a type of technology called digital circuit behavior, and they actually went out of their way to create a digital technology that replicates a digital technology. All the science that went into that and the behavior of the microprocessors that were used at the time, all of that stuff is definitely interesting, and I can see that their efforts paid off, and hear that their efforts paid off, because the D05 for me is one of those synth modules I cannot get rid of. Sometimes I think about, like, do I need this? But it just adds an extra special something. And it's great to have for live use as well. Again, I haven't begun making my own patches for this yet, but that doesn't mean I never will. It's definitely a very deep dive as far as editing. There's a lot of menus. I'm not going to go over all the features. I'm mainly going to be going over my impressions of this synth and some of the sounds that I like to use. And I'm going to show them to you dry without reverb, so you get a picture of what you're dealing with. But I think I picked this up for about $3.99, and that price for this type of sound collection is, in a physical box, is, for me, was a great deal. But I'm sure the software version is just as good, and maybe in some ways better, because that might be easier to edit. Anyway, I'm going to get into some video right now and show you what's going on. Roland D50. It's so cool, it's so great, yeah, yeah. Hello everybody. So today I'm going to be reviewing the Roland D05. I call it the D50 because basically this little guy right here, it's just a little baby D50. Isn't it cute? Seriously though, it is an exact replica of the Roland D50, released I believe in 1987. I can't tell the difference between this and the D50. Granted, the last time I played a D50 was probably in the early 90s, because yes, I am that old. Anyhow, this is an iconic digital synthesizer. I'm going to start with some of the factory presets. This is Fantasia. Anybody who grew up in the late 80s, early 90s are going to recognize these tones. Classic. The Simpsons theme song, the very beginning, you'll hear this sound, which is the preset D50 voices. The Simpsons. All right. Slow rotor. Iconic sound right here. Digital native dance. This sound can be recognized from the track Dirty Diana by Michael Jackson. Parts of this sound were used for the original PlayStation startup music as well. Drums playing afterwards. Some of the string sounds. Are pretty neat. Here's another after-school special type of tone here. No, Timmy, just say no to drugs. Don't blow that line of cocaine. Now, let's go to one of my all-time favorite patches, Soundtrack. This was used on a song called Violet by Seal off of his first record. And I'm sure you can hear this sound in many other tones, many other songs, I'm sorry. It's very lush, very beautiful. Very nice cathedral organ, still very usable today.
Favorite flute sounds on a keyboard. Great stuff. I'd like to give a shout out to Ultimate Patches. Their D50 collection is a must-have. I repeat, their D50 collection of sounds, both volumes, or all of the volumes, is a must-have. I'm going to show you a few of my favorites right now. Newman's Cars. Very unique sounding stuff.
Very nice.